All right, I'm doing this a day early again. Not because last week was a vast improvement over week 11, but because I need to just do this a day early. Week 13, Green Bay Packers getting 3 at the Detroit Lions. First week of the season, the Packers humiliated Detroit. Made Jared Goff look like Jared Goff. Both these teams have had their struggles this season. A lot of hype surrounding both of these teams. With all the hype surrounding both of them, I think the Lions win by 2 points. Packers cover. Packers going to cover that one. Dallas Cowboys playing desperate football. Why not? Why not? Why not beat the playoffs? Dak Prescott. Getting 3.5 at home against Kansas City is Dallas. Dallas is getting 3.5 at home. This was Dak Prescott's sophomore season in 2017. I tell you, he'd be getting a pretty easy break because Alex Smith would have been starting for the Chiefs, and Alex Smith sucked that year, quite frankly. But I'm taking the Chiefs to win this one. But the Cowboys, or the Cowgirls, are going to cover that spread because they will be playing a kind of stinky, desperate football that is going to be so terribly obvious to every single person who fucking watches it. So Chiefs win, Cowboys cover there. Cincinnati getting 7 points at the Baltimore Ravens. This is going to be a tough game for both teams, especially Cincinnati. Baltimore's got the narrative on their side. They're tied for first in the AFC North. Actually, I think they're leading due to divisional record. The Ravens are going to win this game. And they're going to win pretty big because Cincinnati's defense isn't going to fucking hold up. I mean, the offense will try to fucking keep them going. But I think the Ravens ultimately are going to win this one. Let's see. Well, you know what? If the Ravens win by 5, you know Cincinnati's going to cover, right? That's going to be my pick there. On Black Friday, the freaking groan of a fake sophisticated bastard. A pseudo-sophisticate. Ugh. Chicago's getting 7 at Philadelphia on Friday. Well, the Eagles did play this team before when they were called the Detroit Lions a couple weeks ago. And if Chicago scores more than the Lions did on Sunday Night Football, which the Lions only scored like 9 points, if the Bears score more than 9, if they score 10, that doesn't matter, really. It's almost no comparison. But if the Bears score more than, if they score 16 or 23 or 27, then you've got to start raising up those questions about Dan Campbell's validity to run an NFL offense. That said, Detroit Lions defense isn't all that bad, even though they should have lost against the Giants last week. And I'm going to take the Bears to cover the point spread, but I think the Eagles, despite all the bullshit drama that's circling around them right now, I think the Eagles win by, let's say, 3 points. Take the Bears to cover. San Francisco giving 4.5 to the Cleveland Browns at Cleveland. Another 49ers-Browns game at Cleveland. Well, when the Browns hosted the 49ers 2 years ago, it was actually a really good game, really entertaining game. Because it was low scoring. You didn't know where it was going to go because both offenses played like total shit. Well, I think the Cleveland Browns, again, I think they're still going to play much better than they have in their first 10 weeks of the season. I think they're going to cover the point spread, but they're going to lose this game 20-17 to the San Francisco 49ers. Tennessee at home getting 6.5 against Jacksonville. This is going to be a big trouble game for the Jaguars. They got a good record. They got a pretty good record, 7-4, something like that, and Titans are lowly team, this and that. Well, I don't think the Jaguars are all that good, especially because of their injuries. If they weren't so injured, I would say, okay, they're a pretty good team. They're not a bad team. They're just not that good. Just because they beat the Chiefs means nothing to me. So, I mean, the Chiefs are an easily beatable team, but the Chiefs aren't that bad of a team. Anyways, I like the Jaguars to win this game by 1 point, so Tennessee's going to cover that spread. The Jaguars, the Jaguars should not be favored by big fucking spreads against everybody. Sorry. Point spread should be much lower. Anyways, here's probably one of the best games of the week right here. The Houston Texans are getting 4.5 at Indianapolis. I said that the Colts are probably going to sputter and fall down. Last week against the Chiefs, what did I say? That they would lose the game? Is this the beginning of the end for Zach Hubbard's favorite team, the Vagina Boy Colts? Against this Texans team that has looked very, very, very wilted. It's at their worst. But I would say that even if C.J. Stroud gets hurt, I like the Houston Texans to cover the spread, and I think they're going to win this game 35-27 against the Indianapolis Colts. New Orleans getting 6 at Miami. The Miami Dolphins are being favored by 6 points. This should be a pick'em line. This should not even be a favorite in this game. But I like the Dolphins to win by 4. Saints cover. New York Jets at home getting 2.5 against the Atlanta Falcons. Last year, everybody saw Kirk Cousins like a schizophrenic Tom York song. This year, well, there is no this year. Let's pretend he doesn't exist. I'll take the Falcons to win this game by 7. The Jets have quit the Jets have completely fucking quit. They've quit. You know, after the Cleveland Browns game, it seemed like the Cleveland Browns game was just their last game ever. They've just stopped giving a shit. Well, then again, I don't really watch Jets games anymore. I don't watch too many Jets games anymore. I mean, I watch very few. They're just not that watchable. They're really not. Like first week of the season, okay. The Bengals game, okay. The Tampa Bay game, where disco dancing almost saved the world for Aaron Glenn and the Justice Society of New Jersey. But otherwise, it's just hard to watch this team. It was always hard to watch this team, except for the 2022 game where the Patriots won 7-0 at New England. That was actually one of the best games of 2022, in my opinion. It was a masterclass in absolute fuckery, and in the sense that the incompetence of both teams were creating levels of fuckery upon themselves. The Arizona Cardinals are getting 2.5 at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay doesn't look so dangerous anymore after they played like absolute trash in the first half against the Rams last week, and then all the other losses they've suffered recently. They're on a bad skid. This Cardinals defense might fucking feast upon Baker Mayfield. But even though I think the Cardinals will cover, I think Tampa wins this game. I do think Tampa gets off their snide here. But I think the Cardinals are going to keep it close because I think the Buccaneers are just not a very good team. They've been exposed. Again, they were not good last season either. I did not believe the Buccaneers were going to do anything last season. They were really lucky to just win a bunch of games with scrub teams, kind of like the New England Patriots are this year with Vrabel. But if Baker Mayfield was not the quarterback of this team, they would just be horrible, totally horrible. Carolina Panthers getting 10.5 at home against the Rams. The Rams are a dangerous team, and I think they'll win this game, but Carolina covers. For some reason, I just have a feeling that it's going to be one of those late season trap games where the Panthers come close to winning. You know, kind of like that game they had against the Chiefs last year, I think. Last year. That was also a game played at Carolina. Hey, the Panthers are a team that, you know, made some progress by, you know, going 500 or over 500 for, you know, about a couple weeks, and then they just play the same old Carolina Panthers shit again. But I do think the Rams win that game. Minnesota Vikings getting 11.5 at the Seattle Seahawks. The Vikings are usually not very good against Seattle, except for that one game in 2021 where Mike Zimmer was a sitting duck and Kirk Cousins finally fucking lived up to his fucking potential as an NFL starting quarterback. Then again, Russell Wilson fucking shat himself all season. The Vikings this year, they're just the same old shitty Vikings that I know and used to love as a kid. Used to love the Vikings, even when they sucked. Nowadays, I'm like, fuck this shit. They just suck forever. They keep making shitty decisions. Their number one shittiest decision was drafting J.J. McCarthy because he is not that good. Best player available. Why don't you draft the best player available? No, you draft guys like Christian Ponder, J.J. McCarthy. Get the fuck out of my face. Tavares Jackson. Oh, that really hurts Brad Childress and his bum, doesn't it? The Seahawks are going to fucking beat this team. They're going to ground this team into dust because the Vikings offense is just crap. When you lose against a fraudulent Green Bay Packers team coached by a fucking empty-headed fucking egg, use your fucking brain! Use your fucking brain! Matt LaFleur's fucking bitch ass. Harpy. Seahawks are going to fucking destroy the Vikings. Pittsburgh Steelers getting 3.5 at home against Buffalo Bills. I like the Buffalo Bills to win this game. They're going to pick themselves up after getting beaten rightfully at Houston, which is still the Satanic Ritual House, by the way. I don't forget that. Fuck that shit. Fuck the world stage. By the way, there is a sponsor for this video. Pittsburgh, they're going to keep it close because it's the Pittsburgh way. You got to play it close. You got to play it close to the instincts. Whatever. The Las Vegas Raiders, post Chip Kelly, getting 8.5 at the Los Angeles Chargers. Well, the Raiders offense, let me just say this right now. That offense had no right to be as bad as they were for the past 12 weeks. And I don't care. I don't care that the roster's not as good as a Kansas City Chiefs team or an Eagles team. I don't care. You know, it wouldn't have mattered if they had Justin Jefferson or Troy fucking Williamson or fucking Jamarcus Russell's fucking quarterback. They should not have such a terrible offense, especially considering that they picked up that young stud from Boise State. It's just they were just inexcusably bad. 2006 is not a far off concept for them. Never really was. But I would say that even though the Raiders definitely a torture racket of a team this year, I would say that the Chargers still beat this team by 10 points. Because the Raiders, even though they'll probably play better, they'll probably play much better. But I think the Chargers are going to power through. You know what? Chargers by 7. Raiders cover. Fuck this shit. Denver Broncos giving 6 to the Washington Commanders. The Washington Puppets is more like it because it's just a puppet city. City of puppets. Human meat suits running around pretending to be real people. Making real policy. It's all fucking bullshit. Freemasonry is real. Freemasonry was not created by creepy video game developers in the 1990s. You Zoomer twats. Anyways, the Broncos are going to just win. They're going to win by 14. All these fucking assholes like Urinating Tree who fucking suck dick talk about, oh, Sean Payton shouldn't be coaching this and that, shouldn't be running an offense in 2025. Hey, dumbass, is Sean Payton just a Hollywood actor pretending to be a coach? Maybe you should try to investigate people one time. Maybe you should try to be a little bit more like Cam B. If all these stupid sports nerd parasites on YouTube were more like Cam B, maybe I'd respect them a little more. Maybe I would fucking, maybe a more helpful dialectic could be created about how fucking shitty life is. Bo Nix, the guy, that fucking idiot Treat is complaining about Broncos offense. Look, the Broncos offense is not, it's not the best offense ever. It's not the best offense ever. But what do you want from a team that has won 9 games in 11 fucking tries? They're finding ways to win games. That's the way of the game. And even though the offense has had their struggles, they still have won more games than lost games. And this is the same Urinating Tree idiot who thinks that the defense of the Broncos is somewhat good. I mean, that said, I've only seen one of his fucking sports ball videos when he reacted to the fucking Broncos-Raiders game. So maybe he fucking, maybe there's some contradicting evidence where he just shits on the defense. Well, guess what? The Broncos defense should be criticized, because if they're not criticized, then they're going to fucking blow a game like the one in Indianapolis again. They're going to make Zachary Hubbard's vaginal yeast fucking blow up again in fucking joy. Congrats to the winners! Broncos by 21 points. The Washington Puppets are one of the worst fucking teams in the NFL this year. That's my opinion. They're absolute garbage. Just dreadful. Even with Jaden Daniels, they suck. Sean Payton looks like Ben Stiller on the sidelines because he's probably a Hollywood faker wearing a mask. Dan Quinn, who some ghetto nerds in California thinks is actually Stone Cold Steve Austin in a fucking prosthetic disguise, wouldn't have mattered to me because I think Dan Quinn is a fucking culture actor like Candace Owens. A fake patsy-ass motherfucker. He is one of the many patsies who have existed throughout NFL history to take the ones who take dives, a conscious patsy. I can't even stand the look of that fucking guy, thinking he's a serious fucking championship contending head coach in the NFL. He's nothing to me. Broncos by 28. They're just going to win outright. There's no cover here. And the New York Giants getting 7.5 at the New England Patriots. If you're a bad team in the NFL this season, you are made, handcrafted to be fed into the New England Patriots power machine. Patriots are going to win this game by 12 and possibly seal their fate as a playoff berth clincher in the National Fixed League. This video is sponsored by my thumb.